welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Today I thought I'll do a really fun makeup look, and it's gonna be all about the smoky eyes. I thought it's gonna be very appropriate now for Halloween, even though Halloween this year is obviously not the same. We're not gonna have like Halloween parties and stuff, but I still hope people gonna do some fun makeup looks, some fun looks with their outfits, their hair, and I think it's just the time to be creative. So I just wanted to do something more dramatic and fun for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and let's get started. So even though I'm gonna be focusing mostly on my eyes, I still want to show you how I do my base, just because I think with smoky eyes it is important what kind of base you have on, because not every base will match. So I already prepped and primed my skin, so I'll skip through that. And I'm gonna be starting right away with my complexion products. And first, with smoky eyes, I think it's important to have more of a full coverage base. For an everyday, I prefer obviously a light coverage or medium coverage, but because we're doing a smoky eye, I think it's more appropriate to have pretty good canvas to work on. So to start off, I'm gonna use my Rare Beauty foundation in the shade 170W. It's a pretty buildable foundation, even though it's not full coverage right away. It is buildable if you put quite a lot, so I will use a lot of it. I know I look crazy, but it's all gonna come together, I promise. Now I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty concealer, also in the shade 170W. They match it pretty well because even though it's the same shade, the concealer is a little bit lighter, so it's good for brightening, which I need a lot of. I will put a little bit extra powder under my eyes just in case I have some fallout, because I will go heavy on the eyes. I will after just could swipe it off with the brush, so it would just make it easier, so I don't have to redo my whole under eye concealer thing. So I'm using the Everyday Bouquet powder by Seattle London. Like always, it's my favorite translucent powder. I'm using just a little bit. And like I said, even though I used a little bit powder everywhere else, under the eyes I'll go a tiny bit heavier. Not too much, just a little bit heavier, just so after it would be easier for me to take off any fallout. So now let's move to contour, and usually for my everyday makeup I like to do something more bronzy and something more warm toned, because I like the warm toned look on the cheeks. But because we're going so heavy and not so cool toned but kind of more cool toned on the eyes, I would prefer to use cool tone like contour instead of bronzer, just so it doesn't look like conflicting with the eye makeup. So I'm gonna go really light on the contour, and I'm gonna use very cool tone shade, and for that I'm using my Cocoa Contour palette, which I find this palette perfect for cool tone. They have different shades. I'm gonna use the medium one. So as you can see, I went very light-handed on the contour, just because because we're gonna go really heavy with the eyes, you want to keep everything else muted. so I don't want to like have too much product everywhere because it can look a little bit clownish, and that's not really the look I'm going for. So next I'll move to a blush, and again I'm gonna use very muted blush. For blush I'm using this Milk Makeup blush stick, and it's in the color Work, and it's just a really pretty muted blush shade, and I'm gonna put just a little bit. Again, I want to have pretty simple base just because I'm going heavy on the eyes. So next, for highlighter, I'm gonna be using my Hourglass highlighter stick. I love this one. It's in the shade Champagne Flash. Even though it says Champagne Flash, I don't find it too warm. Again, I'm going a little bit more cool tone on the eyes, so I don't want anything like warm. I want something in the middle. And this one is just a really beautiful like light highlighter. So now let's move to the eyebrows. I'll do them really quickly. I'm just gonna fill them up a little bit like I always do. I'm using this Item Brow product in the shade Medium Brown. It's just very simple brow pencil. Honestly, just fill up your eyebrows how you used to, but try again to make them not too bold. Just muted, natural eyebrows. So now that I filled them up, just to fluff them up a bit and make sure they stay in the right shape and don't move, I'm gonna use an eyebrow gel. I think the eyebrow gel is a must for every look, and I'm using my Milk Makeup Clear eyebrow gel. I've been loving this one recently. Because we're gonna have more of a messy eye look, because smoky eyes is very like unprecise eye look. It's very messy, very like smudged. So I like to have a little bit more of a fluffy, messy eyebrows. So I brush them up a lot. So now finally we're gonna move to the fun part, which is the eyes. I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit. So because it's gonna be very, very bold eye makeup, I think it's very important to prime. I'm gonna be using my Pretty Vulgar eye primer. I really like this one. I just use a little bit of it. It's kind of clear when you put it on, but it really does make a difference of how long your eye makeup stays and how pigmented it is. So for me personally, it's important. So now that we have the base on, I'm gonna start with another base, darker base for the whole eyeshadow. And I already talked about this product in my Everyday Glam for fall, and it's this Kaja cream eyeshadow. And again, I love this product so much. Even though it's a shimmery base, I think it's just really gorgeous for a smoky eye, for like an everyday eye. I just think it's really pretty, and you can build your eye makeup from there. So that's what I'm gonna do. You have to use just the tiniest bit of this, so that's how much I use for my whole eyelid. I'm just gonna put it all over, and if anything we can smudge it from there with a brush, but I'm using my finger first. I know it looks like a whole mess right now, which is completely fine. It's supposed to look like that. Again, it's a smoky eye. We're gonna smoke it out and add actually a lot more products to this, so don't worry if your base doesn't look too symmetrical or too perfect. It shouldn't look perfect. So now that we have our base on, I like to, before starting with the eyeshadow palette, I like to go in with the pencil, just because I like to smoke it out and work from there to see how, like, to build my shape with this first, like the eyeliner. So I'm gonna put it on my upper lash line and my lower lash line. So I'll use this small eyeliner brush to smoke out my eyeliner. I like to do a little wig from there, just to lift up my eyes, since I do have more of a hooded eye. Again, if it falls out, if you have fallout, if it like is a little bit messy, you can always fix it, like don't worry about it. I'm gonna do the same thing with the eyeliner on the other eye. Just like that. I think it looks pretty good on both sides. I really like how it looks so far, and we just started again. We're gonna smoke it out a little bit more. I just want to have a little bit of a direction how I'm gonna go. So I like to do the wing first. So now I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice eyeshadow palette, and I think it's a beautiful eyeshadow palette for smoky eye. It has a lot of smoky colors and it's just a beautiful palette. It performs really well, so I really like it. I'm gonna start with this color, which is called Shisha Smoke. It's this kind of like gray blue eyeshadow color. I'm just gonna smoke it in my crease. So we smoked it out a little bit. I'm gonna take now a clean fluffy brush and I'm just gonna go on the edges just to make sure it's well blended. So now I'm gonna take the same color, the Shisha Smoke, and I'm gonna use it under on my lower lash. And I'm taking a small brush like this. It looks good so far. I think I'm gonna use this color, which is it's a brown, but it's a cooler kind of brown. I'm gonna use it in my crease to smoke it out a little bit more and add more dimension. Do you see how important was to use the base? Because it actually just like fits perfectly with this look. Even though it's shimmery, it adds really pretty shimmer. I just really like this base. Actually, it's the first time I'm using it for smoky eye, but I really like how this base looks like under this smoky eyeshadow look. Now I think it is smoked enough in the crease. It does look very deep and smoky. I like that I added the brown. It just lets a tiny bit of warmth. So now I'm gonna use this beautiful color. It's called Swag It For Me. Swag It For Me. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's called Swag It For Me, and it's this beautiful like emerald green blue, but it's very dark. It's like almost black, and I think I'll use it not sure. I think I'll use it all over my lid. It might be really risky because I think the eye look already looks pretty good, but I'll add a little bit on my lid just to see if I can add a little bit more drama. So I'm using this kind of fluffy flat brush, and I'm gonna use it on my lid. I'm gonna take a clean fluffy brush, and I'm gonna just again blend it really well in my crease. I really like how it looks like. I'm gonna use the same shade actually on my lower lash with the same small precision brush. Just because I really want it super smoky, so I'm going all the way. And then I'm taking a smaller fluffy brush, it's completely clean, and again I'm blending it on my lower lash. Blending is really important in smoky eye. That's like the most important, I think. So make sure to always blend really well. And I'm taking this brush and I'm going over the eyeliner and winging it a little bit up. Again, I want this eyeliner to be smoky, so I don't go over because I actually don't want it precise. I want it to be a little bit of a messy liner look. So I'm using this big fluffy brush to smoke it out, just so we still get a little bit of this kind of lift. I think I'm done. I just think I still need to clean it up a little bit, maybe with a little bit of a concealer, because even though with powder I do think it like a little bit fell and it made my under eyes to look a little bit dark, and we don't want that. So I'm just gonna clean a little bit under with a concealer and I'll be right back. So I did clean a little bit with my concealer under, and now let's go to a little bit of a highlighter. I'm gonna use the same Hourglass highlighter that I used on my cheekbones, under my eyebrows and my inner corners, just to add a little bit of brightness. Again, it's a very sheer highlighter. It's not gonna look very sparkly, it's just gonna give a nice sheen. Now we're gonna go to a mascara. You can put some falsies on, but honestly I think you don't even need to with this kind of look, just because it's already so dramatic. I feel like when you do very like dramatic eye look, when you put falsies, it just covers the whole eyeshadow look. So I don't think it's necessary. It already looks really dramatic without fake eyelashes. So I'm just gonna use my Kosas, the big clean mascara. The package is really pretty. So this is the finished eye look. As you can see, it's very smoky and messy, which that's just the way I wanted it. That's the way I like it. I feel it gives the most drama, and it looks really good from close and also from far. and it is more cool tone, but at the same time it still have a little bit of warmth from my bronzy base, the Kaja base. I didn't tell you the shade. It's in the shade Moon Crystal. So it did add a little bit of bronziness, and also the brown also added a little bit of bronziness. So I really like this eye look. Now we're gonna do the lips and we're done. So because again we went really heavy on the eyes, we don't want to take it away from doing bright lips. I mean, not for me personally. I always like to focus on one aspect. So if I do really bold like contour and bronzer, I'm gonna go very simple on the eyes and the lips. If I do very bold eyes, I go simple on everything else. And if I do really bold like red lip or bright pink, I do go very simple on the eyes and the face. So again, I'm going very simple. I'm using my Becca lip liner just to overline my lips a little bit. It's very neutral nude, a little bit on the peachy side, but that's what matches my natural lip tone. So as you can see, it matches my lips perfectly. It's almost the same shade. For lips, I'm gonna be using this Pierre MD No Makeup lipstick, which is just, I mean, you can barely see it, but it's just the perfect nude. It's not too shiny, not too matte. It just looks like your lips, but better. I love using it every time I'm doing bold eyes. So here's the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, it's a very dramatic smoky eye, and I think it looks really good with the different costumes. And just for October, which is more of a spooky season, I think a nice smoky eye is a must at least once. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to see some more of me, and if you have any other video ideas, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!